Gentlemen, an opportunity to look at the warrant.
Motion approved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Next, we have the town election warrant.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Barbara, any community input?
Yes, Gary, myself.
Mr. Marcella?
Members of the Board of Selectmen, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come and speak before you tonight. My name is Gary Marcella. I live at 330 Town Road in Rachael, Mass. For the past 23 plus years, I've served proudly as an unpaid member of the Finance Committee. And my reason for coming tonight is, in that time period, I have never seen the kind of intimidation and bullying tactics that have been coming from your board, particularly Selectman Rachael, O'Loughlin, and I'm sad to say you also, Mr. Chairman. In particular, the other night when we were at a public event that had nothing at all to do with the finances of the town. When you came up and said, you really got to stop asking those political questions about, and asked us to cut it out. The Finance Committee, our job is to be up here asking the questions about the budget and other things pertaining to the town's finances, and that's what we've been doing. None of you have been to any of the meetings that we've had this year. Well, they had to see what has gone on, and it's troubling that you would take those tactics and try to bully another board like that. We don't answer to you. We answer to the town and to the town meeting. We do not work for you. We sit here and, we'd be more than happy to sit and talk. But other than that, kindly ask if you've got questions. You know when we meet. And you all know that my phone number is in the book, or any other member, call us up and ask us. We're more than happy to set the record straight. And Mr. Rachael, for the record, we have talked with the Drake at DATV, and their answer to us in terms of televising the shows is that they don't have the volunteers nor the money to be able to do that right now. And thank you for the opportunity. Good night.
Number one on the agenda, we have Rachael Pierce to speak to us about her recycling project. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine right now. First, I would like to thank the Selectmen of Drake for inviting me here to speak today. Tonight will mark the end of my assignment for my project for science class in the 7th grade, about how we can all change the world and about recycling plastic by every day. Only every student in my school either brings their bottles home to recycle them or they don't bring them at all. First, for my assignment, I walked around my neighborhood and visited some local businesses, looked at my school, and finally I toured the properties. After some internet research, I decided to focus on recycling plastic bottles. We all use plastic bottles because they are affordable and they are lightweight. Around the world, approximately 300 billion pounds of plastic are produced. In America, we use about 25 billion plastic bottles a year. If every American household could just recycle 1 out of 10 bottles, we can keep 200 million pounds of plastic out of our landfills a year. In my neighborhood, about half of the houses recycle. Many local town businesses that sell plastic bottles, there are no bins for recycling them, such as donut shops. When I was walking around my neighborhood, I saw a plastic water container floating, running down the street. So I walked out to get it and I put it in my own recycling bin. My school, Lakeview Junior High, as well as other Chippewa schools, have no recycling bins in the cafeteria or on the school grounds. My grandmother, she works for O'Connor Studios, and she sees many kids in the cafeteria throw away their plastic bottles. So if she sees one laying on top of the trash can, she will go and pick it up and bring it home to recycle. After the high school craft fair this spring, the grounds were littered with plastic bottles. When my friend Abby and I were at church, she was about ready to throw away her plastic bottle. So I said to her, well, why don't you just recycle it? Because it can help with the environment issue. And so she did. And she thanked me for actually helping her learn about how we can save a lot of plastic bottles. The truck is used by the high school, which is used by students and the public, has no bins. Again, plastic bottles are dumped in regular bins or on the grounds. In Frederick Parks, the recycle bins are out of the way, and the bins at the entrance and exit are regular trash, and they contain many empty plastic bottles. And on occasion, so does the parking lot. Also, the baseball and soccer fields do not seem to have any recycling bins. In this country, we are taught in school how important it is to recycle. We see the same message on TV or we read it in books. However, in the town of Drayton, we are not encouraged, or as in the examples above, are not allowed to practice these lessons. We would like you, as an elected leadership, to consider the new policy that allows all of us to say with great pride that our landfill is smaller than your landfill. Also, I want to tell the others that my hometown takes responsibility for present and plans for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Why don't you stay there? I think Selectman Zimney wants to interrogate you.
Not true. Mr. Chairman, I made the request to have Rachel come before us after we received a letter from her telling us about her recycling project. And I think this is the type of thing we need to encourage our young students to do. What grade are you in, Rachel?
7th grade.
7th grade. I think you have a very bright future. I know you're nervous standing up there. Just imagine how we feel every other Tuesday night when we get to come here and face the public. But you did a great job there. And I think that the manager, Mr. Buxton, is here tonight. Should listen to some of the things you said about the different baseball fields, and maybe we can arrange to have some recycling bins or barrels put in those particular parks or in the areas where you saw that there wasn't any. Again, thank you for your real great presentation here tonight, and good luck.
Rachel, one other thing. Not only is recycling good for the environment, but it saves us money because we don't have to pay to have that put in the landfill because we get charged by the ton. So you're doing more than you know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
I have a plastic bottle here, and I felt very guilty taking a sip of the way you were talking about it. Taking it home to recycle. So I'd like to ask you to do some homework on it. You probably didn't think of homework when you were doing this, but I'd like to see you follow up on this with some ideas a little bit further than what you've done on what we can do together with your ideas and maybe our enforcement and the DPW director. How can we implement some of these changes? So I'd like you to take this and go a little bit further with it and make us work a little bit harder and make us implement some of these changes. I'd really like to work with you on doing that so that we don't, a lot of times what happens in government, Rachel, and we'll find this out later on, is that things get put into committees and then things get talked about and then things never happen. And that happens a lot in government. So to avoid that from happening, I'd really like to see you come up with a couple more ideas. You can send them back to the board. You can send them to the selectman secretary. You don't have to come back and stand here and be nervous again. And let's work to implement some of these changes, whether it's in the parks or in the schools. We can certainly work together and talk with the school committee and try and implement some of these things. And I think it'd be great for the town. So if you want to do that, I'd like to work with you on that. Okay, thanks.
Thanks again. Great job.